जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदना व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजना यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जयो राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जयो राधा गोपीनाथ राधा गोपीनाथ राधे जयो जगन्नाथ जगन्नाथ बलदेवा मैया सुभद्रा जय गौरांगिताय 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 जय गौरांगिताय जय जय प्रभुपाद जय निताय गौर हरि गौर हरि हरिनाम संकीर्तन की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जायमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तम श्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्टिकी। कृष्णाय वासुदेवाय देवकी नंदनाय च नंदगोप कुमाराय गोविंदाय नमो नमः। नमो पंकजनाभाय नमो पंकजमालिने नमो पंकजनेत्राय नमस्ते पंकजांग्रये। Hare Krishna. Can this volume be slightly increased? I have to speak in English, right? English? So I'm very happy and grateful to be here at the 16th Prerna program at ISKCON Konda, and very happy to see all youngsters here. In the association of all of you all, I'm also feeling very young. So it's very nice to see young people removing their precious time on a Saturday evening to come and hear something about spirituality. Today is the incorporation day of ISKCON. Way back in 1965, Srila Prabhupada registered the society in America. And when Prabhupada was registering the society, Prabhupada wrote down 7 purposes of ISKCON. And one of the purposes of ISKCON is to fill in the gap of education that is missing in the society today. In today's world, there is a lot of education about material aspects, how to become, you're going to speak about success, how to become successful materially. But the spiritual education is strongly missing in the world. So Srila Prabhupada started ISKCON as an educational institute where everyone, especially youngsters, are given education about spirituality. Srila Prabhupada, in the initial days, Prabhupada went to a university in America called MIT. Have you all heard of MIT? Massachusetts Institute of Technology. So Prabhupada went there to give a Bhagavad Gita talk. And after the talk, one of the professors there took Prabhupada on a parikrama of the university campus and very proudly showing all the departments that they have in MIT. Prabhupada said, very nice, you will have MIT, but there is no Almighty in MIT. Prabhupada said, where is the department that teaches about God, about Atma? That department is not there. So to fill in that gap, Srila Prabhupada established ISKCON way back in 1965. And now, by the vision of Srila Prabhupada, we have ISKCON centers practically everywhere where this kind of spiritual education is given. So I always feel that real education starts when someone actually steps into an ISKCON center. Till then, someone can be called literate. But education, sanskar, culture comes when you actually enter into an ISKCON setup. And youth is the age of education, of learning. And even to learn spiritual life, this is the best kind of age. So I would begin by congratulating all of you all for removing this precious time and coming to hear some wisdom of Bhagavad Gita. So today, the devotees here have very consciously chosen this topic. All the brahmacharis, all the boys here are trying to work very hard to create this Prerna program, trying to create topics that are very relevant to all the youngsters out here. So today's topic is redefining success, career goal to soul goals. How many of you all here want to become successful? Please raise your hands. Everyone. Everyone wants to become successful. But the problem is, many of us really don't understand what success is. When we hear the word success, what comes to our mind is some kind of material goals that everyone has. And this success changes according to people and according to situations. Like as a student, success is to get good marks. When someone gets into a job, success is to get promotion. So at different time and in different situations, the definition of success changes. Someone who's poor, someone who's a beggar, just getting food for the day is success. And someone who has a lot of money becoming millionaire, trillionaire, that is considered to be success. But generally we define success mostly in relation to money, wealth, power, prestige, women to enjoy. This is how success is defined. But if you are actually intelligent, in today's world, people think they are intelligent, but actually they are not intelligent. If someone is actually intelligent and you sit to analyze whether this is true success, immediately you will come to an answer that all this success is very, very temporary. Recently, there was this Ahmedabad plane crash, isn't it? Everyone is reading the news of Ahmedabad plane crash. People read this news and people have different understandings that probably there was a problem with the Boeing or what went wrong in the aircraft. But actually, what is the central lesson from this episode? The central lesson is everything in this world is very temporary. Very, very temporary. Edanna yobanna putra parijana itike ache paratitire kamala dalla jalla jivana tallamalla bajohu hari pada nitire. One of our great acharyas, Govindaraj Kaviraj, he explains in his bhajan, all a definition of success, youthfulness, beauty, enjoyment, wealth, it is all like one drop of water on a lotus leaf. Seen a lotus leaf? One drop of water. What happens if there's a drop of water on a lotus leaf? How long it stands there? In a moment it slips away. Because there's a waxy coating, it just slips away. So similarly in life, even if you work hard and you achieve all these things, you become successful, you have wealth, huge house, vehicles, everything. But all these things will slip away in a moment. People who were there in this Ahmedabad plane crash, how many of them thought that that would be their last day? They were going to UK for a trip to enjoy and having a great time. No one realized that death can come. So these things are like wake-up calls for all of us to make us realize that even if we win this world, even if we achieve all these things are very, very temporary. You'll have heard of Stephen Covey. Stephen Covey is the author of 7 Habits of Highly Successful People. So there he mentions what is the difference between a manager and a leader. These are two different things. A manager is one who can tell you how to efficiently climb a ladder. You put a ladder, the manager will tell you how to quickly climb it. But a leader is one who will tell you whether the ladder is on the right wall. Imagine you have efficiently climbed the ladder. And after climbing on top, you realize that the ladder is on the wrong wall. You have royally wasted your time. So it's very important that before we pursue a goal, before we choose a path to reach success, before that it's very important to analyze whether that goal is worth it or not. Isn't it? If it's not worth it, then what is the point in pursuing it? One time, there was a dog and a dog was chasing a truck. Have you ever seen it? A dog chase. So two people were watching the scene. A dog is chasing a truck. So one guy asked the other, do you think the dog will, Do you think the dog will catch the truck and get the truck? The other guy said the question is, even if the dog catches the truck, what it is going to do with it? Okay, suppose the dog, crosses, it runs full speed and it catches the truck. What is going to do? Can it eat the truck? What is the point? So dog is a fool because it's running after the truck. Now, even if you catch the truck, what are you going to do with it? Can you eat it? You can't eat it. So this is the problem. We are all chasing after goals, but we don't know after getting there, whether we are going to be happy or not. In today's world, most of the goals that we have is actually subconsciously programmed into us by society. There's a very interesting story of how programming works, how brainwashing works. And we are all brainwashed in some way or the other to make wealth, money, and all these things are goals. One time, there was one guy who went to a barber, and this guy wore a black dress. And he told the barber, please shave my head. And this fellow was crying so much. The barber asked him, why are you crying so much? He said, Sargal Singh has died. And he started to cry. Sargal Singh, he was so dear to me, he died, and he was crying. And this barber was so touched. So this barber also wore a black dress and he shaved his head. So one time, a soldier came to the barber shop. And the soldier saw this barber with black dress, shaved head. The soldier asked him, why are you wearing this dress? And why you have shaven your head? The barber said, you don't know. Sargal Singh has died. Therefore, I am mourning. I wore black dress, shaved my head. So the soldier also wore black dress, shaved his head. He went next day in the morning, to his camp, and the commander-in-chief came there, the chief of the army. And the chief of the army was saying, what are you doing? Why are you wearing this black dress and, shaved your head? So the soldier said, you don't know, you are the army chief, you are supposed to know. Sargal Singh has died. And this army chief also shaved his head, wore black dress. And this army chief meets the minister. So the minister is asking this army chief, why are you shaved your head and wearing black dress? So the army chief says, you don't know, you're the minister, you're supposed to know. Sargal Singh has died. And the minister also wears black dress and shaves his head. And the minister goes to the king. And the king is asking him, what's wrong with you? Why are you wearing this funny dress, black dress, shaved your head? Minister says, king, you don't know. Everyone in the kingdom knows. Sargal Singh has died. The king is asking the minister, who is Sargal Singh? Minister says, I don't know. That fellow told me Sargal Singh is dead, I would. So the minister went and asked the army chief, who is Sargal Singh? Army chief said, I don't know. So they called that soldier, who is Sargal Singh? Soldier said, I don't know. They went to the barber and asked him, who is Sargal Singh? Barber said, even I don't know, let's ask this guy. And finally they got that guy who started this whole series. They asked him, who is Sargal Singh? And that fellow started to cry so much and he said, Sargal Singh is my donkey. This donkey served me so much. Sargal Singh died, so I am weeping. I am feeling a lot of separation from him. So the point is, sometimes we foolishly accept a goal given by society to us, programmed into us, right? And when we work very hard to achieve this goal, even when we achieve this goal, we are not going to be happy. There was one very famous billionaire in America. He said, my desire is everyone should become a billionaire. Only to realize that once you get there, there is nothing over there. It's all empty. Right? So if you study the life of really successful people, people who have all the wealth and who have all these things, are they actually happy? They are not happy. Many times we confuse material things with happiness, but this is not true happiness. So when we come to a program like this, when we come in association of devotees, when we read Gita, when we read Bhagavatam, what happens to us is we start to think. We start to question. The outside world doesn't question. They just follow. It's called the rat race. You heard of the rat race? Even if you win the rat race, ultimately you're a rat only. What's the point in winning the rat race? So the outside world doesn't think. But in Krishna consciousness, ideally an educated society should think, should reflect, is the goal worth it or not? Srila Prabhupada made the society ISKCON. Prabhupada registered the society way back on today's day in 1965 because Prabhupada wanted a society that would live simply and think very high. So Prabhupada's message was simple living, high thinking. But in modern society, what is the message? The message is simply living, hardly thinking. No one is thinking what they want in life, what is their goal in life. One time, a teacher asked a group of school children, she was having like an exercise. She asked them, what do you want to become in life? What is your goal in life? What do you want to become? So some student wrote the answer, I want to become a doctor, I want to become an engineer. This is what we all want to become, I want to be this, I want to be that, I want to become a pilot. One student wrote, I want to become happy. So the teacher said, I think you have not understood my question. My question is, what do you want to become in life? So the student said, I want to become happy. So the teacher said, you have not understood my question. The student said, ma'am, you have not understood what life is. Life is meant to be happy, but we do things, in the name of becoming this, becoming that, we forget the basic thing that we are supposed to be happy with what we are doing. We are supposed to achieve a certain sense of satisfaction in life. One time, Alexander the Great, he goes to Vrindavan and he meets one sadhu there sitting in one kutia doing his bhajan. Alexander tells him, you fool, you're wasting your life. See me, I'm so ambitious. I've come all the way from Persia, I don't know from where. I've come all the way, I've conquered so much land. You're wasting your life sitting here doing nothing. Get up and do something with your life. The sadhu asked Alexander, why are you working so hard? So Alexander said, see, I want to conquer so much land and I want to make a huge palace. Sadhu said, what you will do next? He said, then I will marry a lot of wives. What do you do next? He said, finally, I will make one nice cottage and I will retire there. The sadhu said, I'm already doing that. Right? If you want to finally retire down, I'm already doing that. Why are you working so hard for? First time Alexander realized that Indian sadhus are actually very, very intelligent. So the point is, we are not against career, even though the topic here is from career goal to soul goals. We are not against career. Right? If you're a brahmachari, then you don't have to focus so much on career. But otherwise, you need career, you need money, you need all these things. We are not against it. And neither is Gita Bhagavad against it. These things are important, but we should not confuse these things with happiness. Having more money, having more facilities, having more position doesn't make you happy. These are just resources, facility. Happiness is a state of mind that we are supposed to achieve. Therefore, as I told you, we have in today's world so many people who have all these things. Still they are depressed. Still they commit suicide. You will never find a poor guy committing suicide. Have you ever seen it happen? Have you ever seen it that someone in a slum commits suicide? Hardly. All the suicides happen from people who are staying in 100-floor buildings. I mean, even to jump from there, you have to have a flat there first. A person staying in a slum, from where he will jump? Even if he jumps from his hut, where he is going to die? For you to jump, you have to have that 100-floor house. For that you work very hard so that you can jump from there. That's all, right? So people are slogging it so much. There was a news, probably you might have seen it. One doctor in Mumbai, he parked his vehicle in Mumbai Sea Link, and jumped from the bridge and committed suicide. So all these news are very, very shocking. And these news actually help us understand and make us realize that just having material success is actually not everything. Spiritual life is something that's very important if you truly want to achieve that inner fulfillment, that inner happiness. Anandamayo Vyasa. So it is said, skills, attitude, character. Three things are essential. Skill can take us to the bridge of success. In today's world, what is education in today's world? Education in today's world is only about skills. What to do. That's all skills is. Your handset, how you can use your hands, brains properly. That's all skill set is about. This can take you to the bridge of success. But skills is not everything. You need right attitudes also. So therefore, in today's world, when companies come to take interviews, now gone are the times when they see only skill set. They see attitudes of people. And what is attitude? Attitude means the will to not give up, the will to keep struggling in difficult situations, to keep pushing on and on. These are various definitions of attitude. So attitude helps us cross the bridge of success. Skills get us to the bridge of success. The right attitudes, mind frames. So skills is like the skill set or handset. Attitudes are like the mindsets, which are also very important. The right mindset help us to cross the bridge of success. But even if you achieve success, even in the material sense, you get all your wealth, you get position, you get everything. If you don't have character, you will not be able to maintain that success. And we have seen in history, people who have become successful, because they don't have character, they have lost everything. You can just lose everything in a moment if you're not alert, if you don't have character. So character is about heart set or soul set. Character actually helps us become successful and maintain that success in a sustainable way. In today's world, no one actually focuses on character. We all go to school, colleges. Where is the focus on character? There may be a subject called moral science, but that subject is hardly used properly. There's no value for it. But character is something that is essential. In our Vedic in our Vedic India, when education was given to children, the education was not skill based, it was character based. The foundational years of children, character was given. That was the brahmachari training. Because if you don't have character and if you have skill, you can create damage to society. We see terrorists, right? Terrorists, to operate on that level, you require intelligence. They are not fools, they are very intelligent guys. They have skills, they have intelligence, they know how to use. But the problem is, they don't have character. So people who don't have character and who have knowledge, who have power, they can be very, very dangerous. So character is very important. Just like a building to stand, the foundation is important. The taller the building, the deeper the foundation has to be there. If not, one earthquake, the building is going to fall apart. So therefore, character is actually the foundation of the building of success. We all want to become successful. Everyone raise your hand. But for you to build the building of success, what is important is character. The taller your building of success you want to build, the deeper the foundation of character should be there. Otherwise, we are going to land in deep trouble. In the Ramayana, you have example of two brothers, Ravan and Vibhishan. Siblings, both were brothers. But there is a huge difference in terms of who actually became successful. If you study in one sense, Ravan, there can be no one who can become more successful than Ravan in today's world. You may have Mukesh Ambani, Elon Musk, our definition of success. But they also are not successful like Ravan. Ravan had a city of gold. Can anyone dare it? No one can dare it in today's time. Ravan had a city of gold, a palace of gold. But how does his life end? He dies a miserable death like a dog. So Ravan, he left Ram. He didn't focus on spirituality's bhakti to Ram for Lanka. Right? At the end, what Ravan got? He neither got Lanka nor got Ram. Ram to he never focused on, never prioritized. Lanka to anyway it went away because it's anyway temporary. But his younger brother Vibhishan, younger in age but more intelligent than Ravan. So here the point is, just by growing in age, with the passing of time, we don't become intelligent. We don't become intelligent. We become intelligent by coming to satsangs. One of our devotees, he always mentions this point. Someone is born a man, right? Being born a man is a matter of birth. Being born a male is a matter of birth. Becoming a man is a matter of age. In time, youth will become a man. But becoming a gentleman is a matter of choice. That doesn't happen automatically. Intelligence, wisdom doesn't come automatically. Vibhishan was younger in age, but more intelligent than Ravan. And how was he intelligent? He gave up golden Lanka to get Ram. Now if you see this, in today's world, Vibhishan will be called a fool. In today's world, if someone has golden Lanka and you tell him, I'm giving up golden Lanka to join ISKCON, to take up spirituality, to achieve Ram, you will say, fool, what are you doing in life? You're wasting your life. So Vibhishan in one sense was a fool, externally. Therefore Lord Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Yanisha sarva bhutana pashyam jagrati sanyami. Devotees will call materialistic guy fools, and materialistic guys will call devotees fools. Each are, blaming or, criticizing each other. So Vibhishan was a fool in an external sense. In one sense, how materialistic people will define him. He gave up golden Lanka to achieve Ram. What did Vibhishan get at the end? What did he get? He got Ram also, and he got Lanka also. So who is intelligent? Ravan is intelligent or Vibhishan is intelligent? Why? Because he chose Ram over Lanka. He chose values over valuables. This is what real intelligence is. And the same. See, history, Ramayana for us is called Itihas. History. And we have all learned the saying, history repeats itself. What is the central lesson of Ramayana? This is the lesson. If you are intelligent like Vibhishan, you focus on Ram, you will get Ram also, you will get golden Lanka also. If you are like Ravan, you focus only on golden Lanka, you will not get anything. You will be a fool left at the end with nothing. And the same history repeats itself as Mahabharata. Characters change, but the mentality is same. So in Ramayana it is Raman, Vibhishan. In Mahabharata it is Arjun, Duryodhan. Duryodhan he thought himself very intelligent, right? For Hastinapur, he gave up bhakti to Krishna. You all know the story. One time before the war, both of them were, getting armies to fight. So before the war, both Arjuna and Duryodhan go to Dwarka to meet Lord Krishna. So Duryodhan is asking Lord Krishna, please give me your Narayani Sena. There are a huge army of the Yadukul. So Duryodhan says, give me that army. Because he didn't have faith in Krishna. He didn't want Krishna. He wanted the resources of Krishna. The Raman mentality, the Duryodhan mentality is they don't want God. They want the resources of God. They don't want Ram, they want Sita. They don't want Narayan, they want Lakshmi. So Krishna said, okay, take it and go. But what did Arjuna choose? Arjuna said, I don't care for your Narayani Sena. I want you, Krishna. So again, on an external level, it appears that Arjuna is a fool and Duryodhana is intelligent. Arjuna gave up the huge Narayani Sena for Krishna, and that too Krishna took a promise he will not lift any weapons. What is the use of Krishna without any weapons? But still Arjuna chose Krishna. And at the end, who won? Arjuna won. Duryodhana neither got Hastinapur nor got Krishna. Arjuna got Krishna also, he got Hastinapur also. This is called the win-win situation. Right? Devotees are not fools. Right? The biggest histories, the biggest wars in this world, heroes are Vaishnavas, devotees. Arjuna was a Vaishnava, Vibhishan is a Vaishnava. Devotees are the most intelligent. They get both. They get opulences in this world, and in the spiritual world also they get unlimited opulences. Chanakya Pandit, you all have heard of Chanakya? Chanakya was a very intelligent Brahmana. Srila Prabhupada would say one of the last intelligent Brahmanas in the land of India. So Chanakya, he has a saying, he says, Don't compromise the permanent for the impermanent. You will be left with none. If you leave the permanent thing, what is permanent thing? Krishna and bhakti to Krishna. If you give up that for the temporary things in this world, the impermanent things in this world, what is impermanent is anyway impermanent. It's not going to be with you. Permanent, you have not worked to get. What is going to be left with you at the end? Nothing. So we have to become like Vibhishan, like Arjuna, right? And we have to prioritize Krishna Bhakti. If we do that, it's not that we become a failure materially. We'll become a success even in the material realm. So, as we have been discussing, even to become successful, even though the topic here is career goals to soul goals, but even to become successful in your career, in your studies, spirituality is very, very, very essential. It will help you in your material life like nothing else. I remember in my life, when I took up to Krishna consciousness a little seriously, it was my 11th standard ending, just entering into 12th standard. So I had like a very conscious choice, right? So I had a choice that let me become a little more serious in spiritual life after I finished 12th. Let me focus on my boards. But then I said, I've already realized that this is important. I said, boards we will see, that will happen. Let me focus on my spiritual life. So before I got into 12th, I made my focus very clear. I would chant my 16 rounds and go to college, I focused on my seva, my bhakti. Along with that, I did my studies. And in my 12th, I was one of the toppers of Goa board because I chose to focus. And I realized that it actually helped me a lot because so much of the time that I would waste in so many things has been saved in many ways. Recently was one of our devotee's son from Vasco, Mantra Prem Prabhu. Now he shifted. His young boy, what was his name? Boy's name, I don't remember his name. But this boy, he stood AIR, All India Rank 3. All India Rank 3, it's a difficult feat to achieve. And this boy was trained in Krishna consciousness right from the beginning. So Krishna consciousness, the advantage of bhakti, how it will help you become successful materially, it will help you remain focused. In today's world, the most difficult thing is focus. There is so many distractions and temptations out there. Even to become materially successful, you will not be able to focus without spiritual life. One devotee was explaining, in today's world, we have weapons of mass destruction. We are seeing what's happening in the world out there. But more dangerous than weapons of mass destruction is weapons of mass distraction. These weapons are more dangerous, very dangerous. Technology is a good servant but a bad master. If you are not focused, if you don't have spiritual life, technology can royally waste our life. Just some time ago, there was one boy who happened to come to my ashram to stay for some time. I thought I'll help this boy, but I realized that I can't help him. This boy, he was so addicted to his phone, so addicted. Day and night he's watching his phone, looking at movies, probably talking to people out there, and literally whole time on the phone. I'm trying to tell him, Baba, you'll waste your life. He's not able to understand this. He's not able to connect. So that's the time I realized that this boy is one example. Just like now, if you keep rice for boiling, if you want to cook rice, if you want to check whether the rice is cooked, how do you check? Remove one grain and see. So this boy, I realized that is one example of the millions of youth out there who are getting distracted completely from their goal. Spiritual success is altogether out of their equation. Even materially, they will not become successful. Impossible they'll become successful. So spiritual life, the first advantage of spiritual life, how it can help us achieve material success, it can keep us very, very focused. Very, very focused. And the second reason how it can help us even in material life is that it can actually help us become more and more mature. As I told you, maturity is not related to age. With the passing of age, one doesn't become mature. By entering into a spiritual satsang, maturity comes. In the Bhagavatam first canto, you have the example of Narad Muni. We all heard of Narad Muni, one of the great associates of the Lord. Narad Muni is telling his own life story to his disciple Vyasdev. So Narad Muni in his previous life was a son of a maid servant, born in a very humble family, very poor family, uneducated family, in one sense. So the Bhagavatam explains and Srila Prabhupada mentions when Narad Muni in his previous life was a son of a maid servant, he never went to school. He never went to a school because first he was so poor. His father had died. Mother didn't have money to put this boy in school and he was not that intelligent. But one time in their house, during this 4 months of Chaturmas, the Chaturmas has just started, the 4 months of the rainy season, some sadhus came and stayed in their house. And this boy, a 5-year-old boy, 5-year-old, imagine this, he is going and sitting in association of these sadhus. And these sadhus were discussing about Krishna, about material world, how this world is temporary, a place of misery, how we have to achieve Krishna. And this 5-year boy is hearing. After some time, the sadhus go away. So the Narad Muni tells us the story. After some time, one day his mother, in the middle of the night, she goes to remove to fetch milk from the cows, and a serpent bites her and she dies. Now imagine this, a 5-year-old boy, no father, only mother, no brother, no sister. Mother also dies. Now a situation like this, one will get completely confused, completely bewildered, depressed, enter into depression, suicidal thoughts. But because this boy associated with sadhus for those 4 months, he became so mature. He thought probably this is Krishna's plan. God wants to teach detachment to me. He just left to the north, went in the northern direction towards the Himalayas, meditated on Krishna and actually had darshan of Krishna. And the next life he becomes Narada. So spiritual life is so powerful that even 4 months, sometime association with devotees, Lavamatra Sadhu Sangha can make a big difference. It can give us a lot of maturity. Just like for Narada, his mother passed away. Life is such that troubles are going to come. Problems are going to come. We have to get ready for it. I always say, when you land in a trouble, when a serious crisis comes in your life, will your geography book, history book help you? You may be an expert in solving maths problems. But when a problem hits you, can your maths help you? None of these things can help you. Only Gita Bhagavat can help you. That's all. Other things in times of crisis, nothing will help you. How much ever you may be a PhD, double PhD, it really doesn't matter. So coming to satsangs, understanding and taking up spiritual life is so very important. Similarly, you have Arjuna, the example of Arjuna in the Bhagavad Gita. At the start of the Gita, Arjuna was confused because when he saw the army, especially when he had to fight with his own relatives, his grandfather, his teacher, Arjuna just gave up. He had the skill to fight. He didn't have the will to fight. You can have skills, but where is the will to continue face your problems? That is the time Arjuna took shelter of Bhagavad Gita. And that wisdom of Bhagavad Gita, that 45 minutes that he spent with Lord Krishna, gave him so much clarity. He got so much confidence, he fought and won. Many years ago, we had done a competition for children called Gita Champions League. We went to hundreds of schools around Goa, inspiring children to participate in a Gita competition. And the way we had to do it is we had to actually pitch, we had to campaign and inspire children to participate. I would go class to class and literally I would have like 5 minutes in each class. Now in 5 minutes, how do you convince 50 children to participate? Because we wanted like a lot of children coming. So generally I would ask children one question. 2 questions rather. I would ask the children whether you all have heard of Bhagavad Mahabharata. And all the children would say they have heard Mahabharata. I would ask them, have you heard about Arjuna and Duryodhana? They would say yes. The 3rd question I would ask them is, do you want to become like Duryodhana or do you want to become like Arjuna? And every child would shout, we all want to become like Arjuna. And I would ask them, Arjuna and Duryodhana studied in the same school. They studied under the same teacher, materially, Dronacharya. Their skill sets were same. It was not that Arjuna had a greater edge. Duryodhana was equally good in fighting. But the difference between Arjuna and Duryodhana, why everyone wants to become Arjuna, no one wants to become Duryodhana, is because Arjuna chose to hear Bhagavad Gita. He heard Gita and he followed Gita, therefore he became successful. So by taking to spiritual life, first is we get a lot of focus even in becoming materially successful, and it gives us a lot of maturity. When people insult us, when different troubles come, we are able to handle it. That cushioning is there. We are able to face difficulties properly. Now, as we end the class, I would like to share with you all. I already gave you all 2 examples of Vibhishan, of Arjuna. I would like to share with you all some more examples from ancient times and recent times of personalities who have become successful in the material realm and in the spiritual realm. People who have achieved this win-win situation, people who are really intelligent, who have achieved that inner peace, and simultaneously their material life has also been wonderful. The first example, one of my favorite examples, is the story of Sudama. Right? Sudama ji, Krishna and Sudama, they were like school friends, they studied together and they parted ways. You get your brahmachari training and then you part ways. So Krishna goes on to become the king of Dwarka, Dwarkadish, hundreds and thousands of wives, very, very successful materially in one sense, right? I mean, literally an island of his own with so many palaces. But Sudama remains a very poor Brahmana. And Sudama is still satisfied. Sudama didn't have any desires. So satisfaction is something that is a state of consciousness, state of mind. Ravan had palace of gold, Lanka, still not satisfied. Sudama is staying in a hut, still satisfied. Completely satisfied. Now you think about it, Mukesh Ambani. How much money Mukesh Ambani has? How many crores? Anyone knows? We don't even know. Now if you have, imagine, thousands and thousands of crores, why do you need to work? Do you have to work? But still he's working. So the point is, even if you have everything, that satisfaction is not there, there is no end to it. You will keep working hard and hard and hard, lifelong. Sudamaji was very, very satisfied. So one day, I'll cut the story short, we are already running short of time. Sudama's wife, she goes and tells Sudamaji, please go, there is nothing to eat in the house. You may be satisfied, but the children are hungry. Your friend is Krishna, Krishna is Dwarkadish, please go and ask him something. Sudama's principle was, I am not doing bhakti for business. I don't go to Krishna and ask material things. Sudama said, I will never do it. But Sudama's wife was persistent again and again, please go and ask something. We are not asking for great wealth, but at least some food is needed in the house. You are a grahastha, you are not a brahmachari, you need to maintain your family. Finally, Sudama decides, I will go. But he decides that I will go only to see Krishna, not to ask anything from Krishna. And that too, Sudama tells his wife, I can't go empty-handed. I have to go and give Krishna something. So Sudama is so poor, they don't have food in their house. But what is he thinking? He is thinking of giving Krishna. In today's world, when people go to God, first of all, no one comes to God. When people go to God for what? To give or take? To take. In Tirupati, lakhs of people going to Tirupati to have darshan of Balaji. Has anyone gone to give something? My dear Balaji, I don't want to ask anything from you. I have come here to say thank you for what you have given. Balaji will come out from the deity. So, first time someone has come like this. Lakhs of people, all with their list. God, give me this, give me this, give me this. Sudama's mood was, I am not a businessman. I have not come to ask God something. I have come to give Krishna. So this was the mood of Sudama. He wanted to serve Krishna. He wanted to give Krishna. And they were so poor, they didn't have anything in their house. They got some poha from the neighbors, packed it and took it. Sudama stayed in Dwarka for 1 or 2 days, very happy to see Krishna. Can you imagine this? Now you are face to face with God. Right? Face to face with God. A golden opportunity. What Sudama could have asked so many things from Krishna, but Sudama didn't ask anything. He didn't ask anything. He just offered that poha to Lord Krishna. In fact, he didn't even offer it. He was feeling so ashamed to give that poha in front of Dwarka, in the opulence of Dwarka. Krishna literally stole it and ate it. Krishna forcibly ate it. But when Sudama was coming back, you know what Sudama was thinking? Sudama was not thinking that I wasted my golden opportunity. It's not that Sudama would get to see Krishna again. And literally, Sudama didn't see Krishna again. That was the only time he got to see Krishna. Sudama was not thinking, I wasted my opportunity. I didn't ask anything from Krishna. And neither Krishna gave me anything. Sudama, while he was coming back, he was thinking, good Krishna didn't give me anything. Because Krishna knows, as soon as I get material wealth, I will forget his bhakti. So Krishna is very kind to me. Very, very grateful mood, Sudama comes back. And when he comes back, what does he see? His little hut had become a huge palace. And not a small palace. The Bhagavatam explains, the opulence, the palace of Sudama, the house of Sudama, was more opulent than the house of Indra in the heavens. Why? Because Sudama, he didn't go to ask Krishna, he went to give Krishna. So Srila Prabhupada mentions there, this is the secret of success. We love to read stories of people who have come from rags to riches. Kutiya se mahal, journey kaisa bana? Narendra Modi ji ka, chai wala pradhan mantri. It's like you really love to hear these stories. How does this person become so successful? So Sudama was in a hut, from a hut to the most opulent palace. How does this journey happen? Simple secret of success. What is the formula? Sudama gave Krishna, he prioritized Krishna. That's it. He made Krishna his best friend. Who was Sudama's best friend? Krishna. So Prabhupada explains there, if we are intelligent like Sudama, what we will do? We will make friendship with Krishna. We will prioritize Krishna. We will live a life of giving Krishna. And in giving, what we will get is much beyond our expectation. This is my first story to you all. Second story is related to today's day. As I told you, today is ISKCON's incorporation day. In one sense, it's ISKCON's birthday. This is the day when ISKCON was born. Srila Prabhupada gave birth to ISKCON. And the journey of ISKCON, the journey of Srila Prabhupada is something that you can keep thinking about, right? I mean, Prabhupada started ISKCON on today's day, way back in 1965, when Prabhupada registered the society. There were 4 or 5 people with Prabhupada. And literally in ISKCON, there were like 4 or 5 guys. And Prabhupada is registering International Society for Krishna Consciousness. When Prabhupada is not sure whether next month bill he will be able to pay a rent bill. Prabhupada is not sure whether the society will continue for another month. But Prabhupada was a visionary. He wrote International Society for Krishna Consciousness. And the journey, because Prabhupada surrendered everything to Krishna, he prioritized Krishna, sacrificing his health, sacrificing his wealth, sacrificing his family. Krishna gave him so much opulence that in 10 years, Prabhupada had 108 temples around the world. And ISKCON is exponentially growing everywhere now. I always give this example. I told you this one story of hut to a palace. This was 5,000 years ago, Sudama's story. You may say that that's Bhagavatam. That's 5,000 years ago. How is it relevant now in 2025? I'll tell you Srila Prabhupada's story. After Prabhupada started ISKCON, registered ISKCON, Prabhupada preached around the world. Prabhupada comes back to India. And in India, Prabhupada buys a land in Mayapur. Mayapur is the birthplace of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So Prabhupada buys a land there. And Prabhupada makes one hut. That hut is still there. And Prabhupada calls that hut the International Society's headquarters. International Society for Krishna Consciousness. The headquarters is one hut in Mayapur. And Prabhupada said, devotees around the world will come to this hut. And this hut will become a palace. And Prabhupada had a vision that in the same place, Mayapur, one day we will have a temple which will be world's biggest temple. And someone may say, Prabhupada, what are you doing? Are you dreaming? How can a temple come from a hut. There's no money, even to run the center, to run the society. Now, if you go 2025 to Mayapur, right next to this hut is the biggest temple in the world coming up, almost in completion, worth crores and crores of dollars. Where did this all start from? Hut. So you may say Sudama's story is 5,000 years ago. What do you will say about this story? Prabhupada's journey. Prabhupada went to America with 40 rupees in his pocket. And now $1 trillion temple coming up there. How is all this success come from? Because Prabhupada prioritized Krishna. This is the journey from hut to a palace. Even on a material level you want to go, this is what you have to do. Right? Prabhupada didn't do any MBA. Again, to learn money, people learn MBA. Prabhupada didn't do any MBA. When Prabhupada would meet businessmen from India, Prabhupada would give this example. I started the society with 140 rupees. Now we spend, our expenses is like lakhs and crores of rupees. And Prabhupada told them, you're a businessman. My business formula, my success formula is simple. Chant Hare Krishna. That's it. Right? So outside people will never understand. But this is what the formula even to become successful materially. And we have so many other devotees. We all know the life of Gopal Prabhu. You all have heard of Gopal Prabhu? I mean, he's so successful, one of the most influential persons in this world now. I've known Gopal for almost like 25 years. I've seen his journey. He's prioritized his spiritual life so well. He's struggled it out in his spiritual life, been very focused, very determined, very dedicated to the service of his Guru, and finally opulences have come to him in unimaginable ways. We have the example of Gauranga Prabhu. He's become one of the 100 most influential people in the world. He's in that list. And Gauranga Prabhu has lived a life for 25-30 years of focus, dedication, prioritizing spiritual life, seva. And it's all come back to him in so many ways. So if you are intelligent, and there are like unlimited examples like this of devotees who have become very successful even in their material life, what to speak of spiritual life. So prioritizing Krishna is the most intelligent decision that we can do. The most intelligent decision. So this is about career goals to soul goals. One of our Srila Prabhupada's very senior disciple, he's no longer there, Bhakti Tirtha Swami Maharaj. In America, he established one institute called IFAST, IFAST. The full form is Institute for Applied Spiritual Technology. When we speak about tools, we speak about technology. Today's world is a world of technology, right? Students, youngsters, we all know technology, we all know how to use things, AIO, whatever it is. But here, Bhakti Tirtha Maharaj made an institute of applied spiritual technology. We have all learned the technology, or we are all learning the technology in this world of things out there. Right? We know how to manipulate matter, learn all technology out there, but there's a world inside also. We have to learn the inner technology also. We have to learn the spiritual technology also. Otherwise, we are going to become irrelevant. Srila Prabhupada would always give this example. One time there was an old lady and she had a parrot in her house and she loved this parrot. So one day she got a golden cage for the parrot. Sone ka pinjra. And after she got the golden cage, she was so busy because if you have a golden cage, the gold should shine. Otherwise, what's the point of a gold? Right? So she got that golden cage and she was shining that golden cage so much, she was so focused on that. 1 week she didn't feed that bird only. After 1 week, the bird has died. In English, you call this operation successful, patient died. The cage is like shining, but the purpose of the cage is to keep the bird happy. The bird is dead. This is today's world where everyone is working on material success, shining the body and the material world becoming great. But the soul also has to shine. The soul also has to be given food to eat. And that's what happens in Krishna consciousness and spirituality. We have all solved maths problems, right? In our school, college. In a maths problem, if you get the first line wrong, the first equation wrong, the first step wrong, invariably your result is going to be wrong. Correct or not? Yes. So similarly, in life, if you don't get this basic step correct, rest everything is useless. And what is the basic step? To understand that we are not the body, we are spirit soul. This is the fundamental teaching of spiritual life, not only spiritual life, of life. If you don't know who you are, we are speaking about success. To become successful, you should first know who you are. If you're thinking you're the body, then what kind of success it is? So first is to realize who you are and then become successful. Right? First set your direction, your goal clear, and then work towards it. So spiritual life is the basic understanding that gives us a lot of clarity of who we are, what is the purpose in life. Right? And to help us achieve this, just like you have material tools, material technology, right? You have career tools, you have soul tools. And in ISKCON, there are many soul tools, but simple 4 soul tools that we want everyone to have. Like you have a tool kit that you carry always. This is a soul kit that you should always have. 4 things, but only 4 things in the soul kit. A, B, C, D. That's it. Spiritual life, you don't have to even go for E, F. A, B, C, D, bus. Enough. Right? In material world, you have to go till Z. But in spiritual life, A, B, C, D will take you away from this, all the anxieties and issues. A is association. That's all. So these programs that has been created for all of y'all, it's so well, with so much focus and consciousness and so much love for all of y'all. These satsangs are very, very, very important. Very crucial. So if you all are very intelligent, please take to these satsangs very, very importantly. Sometimes you may not realize this now, but down the line you realize that how important these satsangs are. So association is the key. If you want to become successful spiritually, if you want to achieve God in our life, we have to be in right association. Right? Ravan had wrong association, Duryodhana had wrong association, they messed up their life. Probably Ravan was a good guy, Duryodhana was a good guy. Their association was crazy. Shakuni and all these guys completely spoiled their minds. Already spoiled mind and you are in wrong association, all the more gone. So we all have potential. That potential can be achieved when we are in the right association. So please do take advantage of these satsangs on a regular basis. There are so many devotees here, young boys of your age who are actually taking up this process. You can get so much inspiration from all of them. The second tool that is very important is B. B refers to books. Right? And here books doesn't mean our engineering books, medical books. Here books refers to Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. And that also starts with B, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam. So these books is something that you should always have. Like you have a tool kit, you have first aid kit that you carry everywhere. Right? It's there in your car, it's there everywhere. So this kit has to be always there. Why do you have a first aid kit? Because emergency can come at any time. So similarly, problems in this world can come at any time. Spiritual emergency toolkit is very important. Coming regularly to association, and when you're not in association, please carry a copy of Gita Bhagavad. This book will help us navigate through all the issues, all the problems in life. These books are like roadmaps for all of us. It will clearly give us a goal. So taking some time out to read Gita Bhagavad on a regular basis. C refers to chanting. Right? So this is also a tool. Mala. Right? Regularly chant karna. आप माला करेंगे तो माला माल हो जाएंगे. So you have to keep chanting Hare Krishna. Right? So this is a toolkit that can actually help us a lot to focus, to become, very intelligent. And then D, you may not be able to carry this kit always, but then you can come to our center quite often. D refers to diet. Diet here means prasad. Right? So regularly, please come to our ISKCON centers here and please have prasad. Right? This is the right kind of food that can actually purify our hearts. So life is about balancing. Just like you have a car, in a car you have 4 wheels. If one wheel is punctured, will you be able to go ahead in the car? You'll be able to go ahead. So if you want to achieve your destination, you have to have all the 4 wheels intact, in place, air proper, everything proper. Similarly, life, if you want to achieve a certain destination of success, we have to have different aspects of life balanced. See, we speak about career, but career is not everything. Imagine if someone has a great career, he is earning millions of rupees, but his family life is messed up. Fights at home, divorce going on. How will you be happy? Will your millions of rupees help you in your family life? So value balance, career is one wheel, air has to be there, that wheel has to be proper, family also has to be proper. Now if you have career, you have family, your health is gone, you're not taking care of your body, will you be happy? That health is also very important. That's the third wheel. And the fourth wheel is our society, our friends, everything. But even if you have all the four wheels perfect, but if the steering wheel is not there, no use at all. So career is one wheel, health is one wheel, your family is one wheel, society is one wheel. Sorry. But the most important is the steering wheel, which is spiritual life. So my humble request to all of you all, as you all focus and plan for your career goals, we definitely want all of you all to become successful, even in your career. There's no harm in becoming a millionaire, trillionaire, whatever. But simultaneously, we understand that along with material wealth, spiritual wealth is also needed. Material wealth is called artha, spiritual wealth is called paramartha. Money in this world is needed to survive, but money in this world cannot take us beyond this life. It cannot take us to the spiritual world, cannot take us beyond birth and death. So you need paramartha also. So we are not against earning artha. Please do earn a lot of artha. Please do earn a lot of money. But please do also earn paramartha, the ultimate money, the ultimate wealth. Then our life is truly very, very successful. So my best wishes to all of you all for your material success, material goal. And also please pursue your spiritual life also with that kind of focus. So that, like the example of Sudama, Vibhishan, Arjuna, Srila Prabhupada and all the great devotees, you all can become successful in both the worlds, material world and spiritual world. Thank you very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna. Anyone has any questions, any comments? Yes, please. Mike, can be a little louder, yeah.
Yes, you told about temporary happiness or temporary pleasure. So my question is, then what is the permanent happiness? What is true happiness? And also want to know, do you feel that true happiness, or anyone? Do you know anyone who really feels that happiness? And also, I want to know, if career is the only temporary happiness, then why should we go for the temporary happiness? Why not we should not focus to the only true happiness?
Thank you. All three questions very intelligent. Asking questions is a sign of intelligence. The problem in today's world, no one is asking questions, and the right questions. You go and ask this to your school teacher, you will understand what it is. You are not supposed to question. But yeah. So, what was the first question? What is true happiness? Yes, we'll come one by one. So, true happiness basically means happiness on the level of the Atma. So, the scriptures explain, Ramante yogino anante satyananda chidatmani. So, true happiness is a happiness that is eternal, ever increasing. The happiness in this world, see in Sanskrit there are two words. One is called Sukha and one is called Ananda. In English you may translate both as happiness, but there's a difference. Sukha is temporary. In this world, there is little happiness. We are not saying there is no happiness in this world. There is little happiness, but that happiness will very soon lead to pain, misery. Just like you have a coin, na? Can you have only heads or only tails? Coin matlab head and tail is together. Similarly, in this world, all happiness in this world will give you happiness. Hare Krishna. You can just keep it here. Will give you pain also. I'll manage this. So in this world, all kind of happiness will give you pleasure also, will give you pain also. There is nothing as 100% pure happiness in this world. It's all mixed. I'm getting the point, right? But spiritual happiness is pure happiness without any mix of pain. Therefore, in the land of India, if you see the sadhus that we have, right from ancient times, all the greatest sadhus, whether it is Shankaracharya, Ramanuja, Madhva, these were like the most intelligent people. Jiva Goswami, Rupa Goswami, most intelligent people. Many of them were very successful materially. Many of them were millionaire, trillionaires. Like in our Sampradaya, we have Raghunath Das Goswami, was literally a millionaire. He just gave it up to pursue that inner happiness. Right? So, real happiness is experienced on the level of the Atma, not on the level of the senses, mind, on the level of the Atma. And that happiness comes when that Atma comes in connection with that Supreme Paramatma. When that relation is there, that's when you experience real happiness. That's the first question. What is the second question?
Why should we focus on the temporary happiness?
Good. Yes. So, definitely we should not focus on temporary happiness. Right? So, like when you have a career as devotees, why do you have a career? Because that career, that money that you get through your career, you can also use that in Krishna's service. Getting the point? So money is not wrong. Money is not wrong. If you know how to use it, for what to use it. The problem in today's world is people have that Ravan mentality. They want money, but they don't use it in the service of the Lord. Why did Lord Krishna create this Mahabharat war? Because Lord Krishna wanted power and wealth to be with Yudhishthir, not with Duryodhana. Because Duryodhana didn't know how to use that money. He was going to use it for his sense gratification. But Yudhishthir was trained. Even that wealth, he would not get carried away. He would use it for a certain purpose. So if you have money, you can use it in Krishna's service. Yeah. So basically, if you are a brahmachari, then you don't need money. But if you are grahastha, you need money. If you have a family, you have to maintain. But then you don't earn money only for yourself. You earn it for a greater good in the service of Krishna. Then there's no harm in having a career. Okay? Thank you. Anyone else has any other question? Yes.
Sometimes duties clash with bhakti. Like we have family or we have parents and our national duties. So how should we balance both duties also and bhakti also?
Therefore, Lord Krishna at the end of Gita, he says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya. Lord Krishna says, give up all duties and surrender to me. So the point is, yes, we have all duties. We are supposed to do those duties. But our most important duty is to serve Krishna. And that's the point. When you do that, see, it's always you have to choose Krishna over other things. When you choose that, you will see that all the other duties get done properly also. It's faith. See, many times we feel that after I get all my material life set, I will take it to spiritual life. It will never happen. That's a big illusion. If you take to spiritual life, you prioritize Krishna, you will see one by one your material aspects get set also. So if you want to be a good father, good mother, good son, whatever, you have to focus on bhakti to Krishna. Otherwise, how can you be good at all in any level? So we have to do it. So if there are clashes, if you are very sincere, if you try your best, take guidance. You may have to take guidance how to apply these teachings. You will be able to come out of those clashes also. Then you will see your life, all the other duties match with this one duty. So that will require little hand support, you'll require some guidance around it. Does it make sense? Thank you. Anyone else has any other question? Probably one last question if anyone else has. It's already 10.
Then why everyone is telling to achieve the temporary life?
Pardon?
Then why everyone is telling to achieve the temporary life?
Yeah, that's what I'm telling you. That's what, because people don't know what permanent life is. Therefore, that story of Sargal Singh, what I told you, right? People don't know. People have never come to an ISKCON satsang. They don't know. So for them, the goal is simple. For if you don't have spirituality, if you have not read Gita Bhagavad, your goal is simple. Study well. After that, work hard. After that, get married. After that, get your children married. Like that, keep going on and on. But they'll keep giving you one carrot after another. That's how life is set. Exactly. Because parents also don't have that kind of education. So this education is needed overall. It's needed overall. So therefore, there's a lot of work to do, right? We are all trying our best. So the change begins with you. We have to change the world out there for sure. But then if each of y'all can change one by one, slowly the world can change also. So I think we will stop here. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki
Jai.